Hey there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience. So I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Dan da Dan. I've heard of it. Know nothing about it. Seen the poster art. Got anime looking characters, which makes sense in an anime. Got a lady with a baseball bat with really tall hair, and a cat. Cats are cool. Looks like like one of them beckoning cats come to life. So this is one of those popular big anime of the season kind of things, which I don't have the greatest track record with because my taste is crap, I suppose. Spy Family, ooh, that was a big one. Didn't like it. Chainsaw Man, ooh, that was a big one. Didn't like it. We'll see. The only thing I know about Dan to Dan is two high school kids. Yay! Can't get enough high school kids. One believes in ghosts and one believes in aliens, and I don't know. Maybe there are alien ghosts. So when high schooler Momo from a family of spirit mediums first meets her classmate Okurun, an occult geek, they argue. Momo believes in ghosts but denies aliens, and Okurun believe ellipsis. And there does not seem to be a way to actually read the rest of the description. Great formatting, guys. Hang on a second. We're going to read this description, gosh darn it. See, this is why you're supposed to prep these things instead of just, turning on the camera and sitting down like a lazy person like me. So I saw Invincible Fight Girl. I probably should have done a debut review of that. Had some super interesting things to say about it, which I'm sure you would have been fascinated in. Overall, what's interesting is what I didn't care for is the same thing I don't care for when it comes to professional wrestling. Like, the rules make no sense, and that hurts the storytelling for me. But the show is just so earnest that that's mostly enjoyable, and I've since watched the subsequent episodes. All right. When high schooler Momo, a family of spirit mediums, first meets her classmate Okurun, an occult geek, they argue. Momo believes in ghosts but denies aliens, and Okurun believes in aliens but denies ghosts. When it turns out both phenomena are real, Momo awakens a hidden power, and Okurun gains the power of a curse. Together, they must challenge the paranormal forces threatening their world. Okay. I should probably take a picture of this so you know what the hell I'm talking about. There we go. Yeah, this is going to make some good, more editing for me, but oh man, this is going to be some great content. Oh yeah. All right, Dan to Dan, episode 1. Let's check it out. When I was in my 20s, I gave every new show I watched generally 5 episodes to hook me. That was because back then Netflix was a DVD rental service over the mail. And so I would rent or borrow the first disc of a television series, and generally speaking, there'd be 5 episodes on the disc. So I'd rent the first episode, the first disc of a series. I'd watch whatever was on it. Usually tended to be about 5 episodes. Sometimes 4, sometimes 7. But generally about 5. That's kind of where I started when I was in my 20s. As I've gotten older, I'm willing to give shows less and less time. Because I have less and less time. Now, the whole debut review, 1 episode to hook me thing, that's not a personal ethos. That's just the premise of this show. However, as I get older, it's getting close. It's like, if you're not hooking me by the first episode, I've got finite life left. I'm not wasting my time watching a bunch of new episodes waiting for you to get good. I'll just try something else. 10 years ago or so, I did a video covering the 3 movies that I didn't watch all the way through. There were only 3 movies that I just could not sit through and shut off. One was Babe, one was Anchorman, and I forget what the third one was. That list is a lot longer these days. I'll give up on it. It's still fairly rare for me. The last movie I remember just giving up on is Skinamarink, a horror film that was quite lauded. And I gave up on it after about 27 minutes because almost literally nothing happens. I mean, it's almost, I'm being slightly reductive, but ever so slightly. It's about the experience of taking a camera, putting it in a poorly lit room, pointing it at a wall, and watching the recording for 27 minutes. Not entertaining. Anyway. I tried watching Mob Psycho. Is there a 101 in there somewhere? Because I heard it was great. You know, I bounced off of One Punch Man. I actually gave that more than 1 episode, but I just didn't care for it. But I thought I'd try Mob Psycho 101 or whatever it's called. I don't think I made it much further than like 5 minutes before I shut that one off. All this rambling, preambling, to say that this was a very difficult 23 minutes to sit through. I did not like this at all. It's very, very bad. Or rather, it's not appealing to me. I damn near turned it off after about 5 minutes, damn near turned it off after about 8 minutes, and was really debating, you know what, maybe I'll just not do this episode. I don't want to watch this. But, you know, 1 episode to hook me. I powered through. Willpower. I sat through 23 minutes of a cartoon. Yay. Oh my gosh, golly gosh. So yeah, here we are. We've got another popular anime of the season that I just don't like. I don't like the characters. I don't like the presentation. I don't like a lot of what happens. The opening theme song I thought was not great. The closer's okay. I was looking in the credits for who the production company, and I didn't catch it or didn't recognize the name, so I don't know who does this. But they're not very good at their jobs. That said, the animation is poor. The characters are frequently off model. The animation is bad. Having said that, this is a television show. You don't always have the time you need or the budget you need. And it looks like, being charitable here, it looks like their ambition far outstrips either their talent or their resources, or maybe some combination of both. Or maybe it's a fact of they recognize they're not very good at this yet. Everyone's got to start somewhere. And so they are hiding their technical and artistic inadequacies behind artsy fartsy stuff. Really interesting camera angles and character poses and animations, the way the characters gesticulate, the way they walk, and the expressions they use. Oh, we're doing this really wild stuff so you can excuse the characters going off model. And I sat there watching the show and I'm like, is this deliberate or is it just bad? And looking at the opening and closing sequences, I think it's just bad. I think they know it's bad, and I think they're trying to hide it behind ambition. These are camera angles that you rarely ever see in anime because it's expensive and difficult to do. These are camera movements that you hardly ever see in anime that doesn't have much of a budget. It would be better if I could, show clips and stuff, but I'm not going to. Take my word for it or don't. But, so, I can get beyond that. I'm not... Oh, I'm superficial, but I'm not so superficial that I just can't abide an anime that isn't beautiful, right? No, I just don't like either of the characters. They're both annoying. They both suck. Which is funny because the general premise I like, which is the same way it was with, Spy Family and Chainsaw Massacre? Chainsaw Man, right? I think that's what it's called. The overall concept, the world, I like that. I like the idea of, okay, we've got a kid who's super into aliens and another kid who's super into ghosts, and they do they're like, oh yeah, well, I dare you to go to this place where people are abducted all the time. Oh yeah, well, I dare you to go to the haunted tunnel thing. And so they do, and they both run into ghosts and aliens, and one gets cursed, and one gets her latent psychic powers unlocked, and they go on adventures. That's a fine premise, That's cool. But the character design is off-putting as all heck. One of the more recent design... bits of design that I'm seeing in a lot of anime characters these days are the crossed bangs in front of the forehead. I really, really, really don't like that. Please stop doing that. Please stop with the crossed bangs in the front. Please stop doing that. Because I don't like it. Yeah, the design is bad, the characters are bad, the story is bad, the animation is bad, everything is bad. Oh, and the aliens are really rapey. And I understand that there's a line. You want to... The big... We're leaning into the tropes, right? Alien abduction. What is, at least from a Western perspective, what is the big understood happening when you get abducted by an alien? You get your butt probed, right? I mean, that's the thing, right? And you want to lean into that trope, and I understand that. But I think there's a way to do that and make it entertaining and silly and funny and enjoyable and not just uncomfortable and gross, which is what this show does. The aliens are just rapey. They just strip a high school girl down to her underwear and are like, yeah, we're gonna rape you. And again, I think there are ways to lean into the understood sexual assault trope of alien abductions without being super friggin' gross about it. To as a and I think they were trying to do that, right? Because the aliens are weird looking. They've got obnoxious big mechanical dongs, and they keep calling dongs bananas. Like, I think they're trying, right, to sand off the edges, I suppose, and just in my opinion, not working. Now, the tunnel ghost that the other kid runs into, that one I think they're more successful because she just says I'm going to eat your thingy or something like that. At least that's how it's translated. I wasn't listening too carefully to see what the original word was. And then she chases after him, and right, she doesn't strip him naked. She doesn't start gobbling his crotch, right? I mean, she does end up on the spaceship and, bites the crotch of one of the rapey aliens, which is a nice turnabout. That works. That's fine. But he just gets freaked out and leaves, and then it turns out that, she got him. So now I guess they're on a quest to go get his dong back. And that's fine. That's funny. So there are ways to work subjects like that and make it silly and fun and entertaining and not just really uncomfortable and gross, right? The kid who gets his dong removed, I guess, does end up in his underwear by the end of the show, but it's his choice. He takes off his shirt and pants to offer to the other gal who's running around in her underwear because she got stripped by the aliens, right? So that works better. For me, at least. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I think it's not... I didn't find it very entertaining. I don't like the characters personality-wise. I don't like the art. I don't like the animation. I didn't like almost anything about this. What I was going to... I don't think I followed up on a thought. I was trying to figure out if the characters were truly going off-model when they were trying to do particularly unique walk cycles or gestures or camera angles or camera movements. If they were going off model or if they were deliberately trying to make it look weird because they could get away with it and it was cheaper to do that. Looking at the opening and the ending, I think they just struggled to keep the characters on model when they were doing anything outside the norms of here's two characters standing side by side in a static shot talking to each other, and we're just going to animate the mouth flaps and the blinks because it's a lot faster and cheaper, and easier to keep them on model when they're not moving so much. Could totally be wrong, but that was the impression I get. And maybe this show has a rough opening and just becomes really fun as it continues on, but I'll probably never know. Because I really don't want to keep watching that.